GTA 5 is nothing short of a marvel when it comes to open world gaming. Even 2 years later on the PC, the game continues to topple best-selling charts and Rockstar continues to support the online version with new stuff all the time. Character stats in GTA 5 are something to keep an eye on. Some of these stats are really bloody useful to train up, while others are, well, they're a bit crap to be honest. I mean, I've never found a real useful purpose for lung capacity, for example. So I have decided to start off a small series of training videos for these stats, what purpose you may have to bother with them, and my favourite spots to train these stats up. First up, we have stamina, which I think is one of the most useful to train up and max out early for a few reasons. So, what is stamina actually used for in the game? Well, it determines how long whoever you are playing as can run before they start depleting their health bar. For example, the stamina bar is never actually seen on screen when you bloody well need to see it. If you run around for a while, you will eventually start to notice that your health bar will start to deplete. If that gets too low, the character will start to trip over and face plant the floor. While this is amusing to watch at times, it does get bloody irritating. And the main annoyance for me personally is a fact I mentioned not too long ago. The fact that you never usually see the stamina bar. There is one exception to that rule that I know of, and that's if you enter a triathlon. That's the only time you will see it, as far as I am aware of at least. So, overall, stamina is useful for the following activities: running, cycling, and swimming. Maxing out the stamina stat means it never runs out. Ever. As you improve stamina over time, you'll get longer and longer bursts of energy to run around, but maxing out stamina as soon as you're able to is worth it in the long run. Pun intended. This applies to online characters too, and having unlimited sprinting in that environment is very handy to have. Now, as to where I go to train the stamina stat. You can do this pretty much at the start of the game after the first mission with Lamar and Franklin. Admittingly, you can only train him up, but the others you can work on when you unlock them as you press on with the in-game story. I personally head to Vespucci Beach. There's a bike rental place down there at the southern end of the beach. They say rental, you can just hop on a bike from there and off you go. Or you can run up and down the cycle path and nick one from someone else. It is worth mentioning as well that this doesn't really work if it's night time. There's no bikes there usually. So, just wait for the daytime instead. From there, just cycle from one end of the cycle path to the other, making sure you hold down whatever the boost key is. I think the default is caps lock. And make sure you are cycling at max speed up and down that long pathway. At the beginning, you'll run out of stamina fairly quickly. When this happens, just rest for a minute or two and carry on down the path again. As you do this, you will notice you need to stop less and less before the health bar starts to take a hit. If you notice the health bar turn red, just stop and carry on once you think the character has regained stamina. Once you get to the end of the bike path, simply stop, wait, and carry on back down the path again. Rinse and repeat, and eventually you will have that stamina stat maxed out. Not having to worry about a stat you can't actually see on screen is always a plus side. It also makes missions easier to some degree. For example, any mission with Mary Ann pretty much requires a full stamina stat to complete. I tried the first Mary Ann mission with Michael without the stat maxed. That didn't work. He ended up a mess on the floor as his face hit it twice. This also makes the triathlons in the game a breeze to get through. If you head from the south to the northwest, you will notice that there's a car park there. And there's some really weird people in that car park. You normally see a lot of cars set up, especially in the daytime. And, well, there's always one crazy driver just going a bit mad in there and running into everything and even onto the paths at some point. At least that makes it amusing to watch while you're waiting for the stamina bar to actually regenerate. Well, that's the first one of these types of videos cleared out, I think. Maybe shooting next. Maybe. I hope this helped. I'll see you next time.